Have you ever said the word later? I will do it later. I will call you later. I will be happy later. It is a small word, right? But it is the most dangerous word in the world. What if I told you that later is a place? And what if I told you that once you go there, you can never come back? Today, I want to tell you a story about a man who found out the truth. This story might scare you. It might make you cry, but I hope deeply that it wakes you up. Meet Arthur. Arthur was a busy man. He was 40 years old. He had gray hair, a nice suit, and a very expensive watch. Arthur loved his watch. He looked at it every 5 minutes. Tick-tock, tick-tock. I am late, he always said. I have no time. Arthur worked in a tall building in the city. He made a lot of money, but he was poor in everything else. He had a wife named Sarah, but he only saw her when she was asleep. He had a daughter named Lily, but he missed her birthday parties. I have to work, honey, he told her. I will make it up to you later. He had a dream to paint pictures, but his paints were dry and hard in the closet. I will paint when I retire, he said, later. Arthur believed that he had forever. He thought time was like water from a tap. He thought he could turn it on and off whenever he wanted. But one rainy Tuesday, the tap ran dry. It was a dark evening. The rain was falling hard. Arthur was walking to his car. He was looking at his phone. He was sending an email. Suddenly, he stopped. He did not know where he was. Usually, his car was parked on 5th Street, but this was not 5th Street. This was a small, narrow street, an alley. The buildings here were old. The bricks were dark. The streetlights were broken. There was no sound of traffic. There was no sound of the city. There was only the sound of the rain. Tip-tap, tip-tap.
Arthur felt a cold wind on his neck. "Hello?" he called out. "Is anyone there?" No answer. He turned around to go back, but the street behind him was gone. There was only a thick gray fog. Arthur was trapped. His heart started to beat fast. Thump, 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 thump. Then he saw a light. At the end of the dark street, there was a small shop. A yellow light came from the window. Arthur walked toward it. He had no choice. He stood in front of the shop. It looked very old. The wood was rotten. The glass was dirty. Above the door, there was a sign. The letters were faded gold. It said, "The Shop of Lost Things." Arthur pushed the door. Creak. The sound was loud and long. He walked inside. The shop smelled like dust and old paper. It smelled like memories. The room was filled with shelves, tall shelves that went all the way to the ceiling. And on the shelves, there were jars, thousands of glass jars. Some were big, some were small, some were glowing with a blue light, some were dark and gray. "Can I help you?" a voice said. Arthur jumped. He looked at the corner of the room. An old man was sitting there. He was very small. He had white hair and round glasses. He was cleaning a glass jar with a cloth. "Where am I?" Arthur asked. "I am lost." The old man smiled, but it was not a happy smile. It was a sad smile. "You have been lost for a long time, Arthur," the old man said. Arthur was surprised. "How do you know my name?" "I know everyone who comes here," the old man said. "This is my shop. I keep the things that people throw away." Arthur looked at the jars. "What do you sell? Do you sell antiques?" The old man laughed. It sounded like dry leaves crunching. "No, I do not sell anything. I only collect. These jars are full of time. Arthur stepped closer to a shelf. He looked at a blue jar. There was a label on it. The label said, "The Trip to Italy." Inside the jar, there was a small model of a boat on blue water. "What is this?" Arthur asked. "Ah," the old man said, "that belongs to a woman named Mary. She always wanted to go to Italy. She saved money for 10 years, but she was afraid. She said, 'I will go next year.' Then she got sick. She never went. Now the trip is here, in a jar, forever." Arthur felt a chill. He looked at another jar. It was dark gray. The label said, "The Novel." Inside, there were crumpled pieces of paper. "That belongs to a young man," the old man whispered. "He wanted to be a writer. He had a beautiful story in his heart, but he watched TV instead. He played video games. He said, 'I am too tired today. I will write tomorrow.' He is an old man now. The book was never written." Arthur started to sweat. "Why are you showing me this?" he asked. His voice was shaking. "Because," the old man said. He pointed a long, bony finger to the back of the shop. "Your section is over there." Arthur did not want to look, but his legs moved by themselves. He walked to the back of the shop. There was a large shelf. It had his name on it, Arthur. The shelf was full. There were hundreds of jars. He picked up a small jar, label, "Lily's 5th birthday." Arthur looked inside. He saw a tiny image, a little girl sitting at a table with a cake. She was wearing a party hat. She was looking at the door, waiting. Arthur remembered that day. He was at the office. He had a meeting. He came home late. Lily was already asleep. He felt a sharp pain in his chest. He picked up another jar, label, "The Sunday Walks." Inside, he saw his wife, Sarah. She was walking in the park alone. She looked sad. Arthur remembered. Sarah always asked him, "Come walk with me, Arthur. It is a beautiful day." And Arthur always said, "Not now, Sarah. I am busy. Maybe next Sunday." But next Sunday never came. Arthur looked at the jars. The painting class, the call to mom, the quiet morning coffee, all the moments he skipped, all the moments he traded for work, all the moments he pushed to later. They were all here, trapped in glass, cold and dead. "You have a big collection," the old man said softly. He was standing right behind Arthur. "This is not fair," Arthur said. He was angry. "I worked hard. I did this for them. I wanted to give them a good life." "Did you?" the old man asked. "Or were you just afraid to live?" Arthur dropped the jar. It did not break, it just bounced on the floor. "I want to buy them back," Arthur said. He reached into his pocket. He pulled out his wallet. "I have money. I have a lot of money. How much for the birthday jar? How much for the Sunday walks? I will pay you anything." The old man shook his head. "You cannot buy time, Arthur. Not with money. Money is cheap. Time is priceless." "Please," Arthur begged. Tears were running down his face. "I want to fix it. I want to go back." "You cannot go back," the old man said. "The past is stone. You cannot change stone." Arthur fell to his knees. He looked at the rows of jars. He saw his life. It was a museum of missed opportunities. He realized the truth. He was not busy living. He was busy dying. "There is one more jar," the old man said. He held out a black jar. It was very cold. "What is this?" Arthur asked. "This is tomorrow," the old man said. Arthur looked at the label. It was blank. "Why is it blank?" "Because it hasn't happened yet," the old man said. "But look inside." Arthur looked into the black jar. He saw himself. He was sitting in his office. He was old. He was alone. His wife was gone. His daughter did not visit him. He had a lot of money in the bank, but he was miserable. He was looking at his watch, waiting for the end. "No," Arthur shouted. "I don't want that. I don't want that life." "Then change it," the old man yelled. His voice was like thunder. "How?" Arthur cried. "How do I change it?" "Stop saying later," the old man screamed. "Smash the jar." "What?" "Smash the jar of the future. Break it. Take control." Arthur looked at the black jar in his hands. It felt heavy. He looked at the old man. He looked at the vision of his lonely future. He took a deep breath. He raised the jar high above his head. "No more later," he screamed. He threw the jar on the floor with all his power. Smash! The sound was like an explosion. Glass flew everywhere. A bright white light filled the room. It was blinding. Arthur closed his eyes. He felt like he was falling. Falling. "Arthur! Arthur!" Arthur opened his eyes. He gasped for air. He sat up quickly. He was sweating. His heart was racing. He looked around. He was not in a dusty shop. He was not in a dark alley. He was in his car. The rain was still falling. Tip-top, tip-top. His phone was in his hand. The screen was bright. He looked at the date. It was Tuesday. It was 6 p.m. The same Tuesday. He was still in the parking lot. "Was it a dream?" he whispered. He touched his face. It felt real. He looked at his expensive watch. Tick-tock, tick-tock. But this time, the sound did not make him feel stressed. It sounded like a heartbeat. It sounded like a gift. His phone buzzed. It was an email from his boss. "Meeting in 10 minutes. Don't be late." Arthur looked at the email. Then he looked at his car dashboard. There was a photo there. A photo of his wife Sarah and Lily. They were smiling. Arthur remembered the jars. He remembered the lonely old man in the vision. He remembered the dust. Arthur typed a reply to his boss. 2 words. "I quit." He hit send. He threw his phone on the seat. He started the car. He did not drive to the office. He drove home. When he opened the front door of his house, it was quiet. Sarah was in the kitchen. She looked surprised. "Arthur," she said, "it is only 6:30. You're never home before 9. Arthur did not speak. He walked to her. He hugged her. He hugged her so tight that she gasped. "Arthur, is everything okay?" she asked. She was worried. Arthur buried his face in her hair. He smelled her shampoo. It smelled like lavender. It was the best smell in the world. "I'm okay," Arthur said. "I'm finally okay." "Daddy!" Lily ran into the room. Arthur knelt down. He opened his arms. She ran into his hug. "Daddy, you are home!" she yelled. "Look, I drew a picture." She held up a piece of paper. It was a drawing of a horse. Usually, Arthur would say, "That is nice, honey. Daddy is tired. Show me later." But today, Arthur took the paper. He looked at it. "This is beautiful," he said. "Tell me about it. Tell me everything." He sat on the floor with his daughter. He listened to her story. He looked at his wife. She was smiling, a real smile. Arthur looked at his watch. He took it off his wrist. He put it on the table, face down. He did not need to know the time. He was exactly where he needed to be. That is the story of Arthur. He was lucky. He got a second chance. He woke up. But many people do not wake up. Many people stay in the dream until it is too late. My friends, I have a question for you. If you walked into the shop of lost things today, what would be on your shelf? What jars would you see? The English language you didn't learn? The apology you didn't say? The happiness you didn't choose? We think we have time. We think life is long, but life is short. It is faster than a blink of an eye. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you have more money. Don't wait until you retire. If you want to learn English, study today. If you want to say I love you, say it right now. If you want to be happy this second. Smash the jar of later. Break it into a million pieces. Because this moment, right now, as you listen to my voice, this is the only moment you truly have. Thank you for listening to this story. Please do me a favor. Do not just click on the next video. Take 1 minute. Sit in silence. Think about one thing you have been putting off and go do it. Live your life. Don't waste it. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.